Hey everyone! Lately the speakers of my Spark 40 gave in and so I had to change them. I've decided to go with JBL Club 422Fs. Today I'm showing you the difference and what I had to do to change the speakers. As mentioned in the intro, the speakers of my Spark 40 gave in. This means they got even darker and muddier than they were previously, and it was pretty much impossible to play something normal. We've also tried something to record with Lukas's Spark and mine next to each other, and with the same presets. Mine was totally muddy and dirty and was not usable at all. So I've decided to change the speakers for something new, maybe something better. And I went with the JBLs because they had quite good reviews for such car speakers. First, I'll show you how to change them. For this, I'm using a butter knife because it's round on the tip and it's thinner than a flathead screwdriver. You just have to get in between of the grill on the yellow rubbery part over here and the housing of the Spark itself. Get inside, use it as a lever and get it out. Can't hurt anything with this because there's just Velcro on it, holding it onto it. Really easy to do. Then you have the speakers in there and you unscrew the original speakers, 4 screws, very easy, just tip the Spark a little bit over and you can remove the speakers. And then there are 2 plugs. I'm not showing you this right now. There are only 2 plugs, you can't mix them up. So you can just unplug them, get the new speakers, plug them in. One thing though, you can't just switch the JBLs in it. These tanks over here on the side, which are used to mount them into your car normally, are longer than the cutouts for the original speakers, so they don't fit. You have 2 options. Either you cut these tanks for the screws so they are shorter, this is what I did, or you use a Dremel or some other kind of tool and enlarge over here the portion so it has the space to get inside. The easier part is probably cut the tanks. You pay attention because this is steel and this is magnetic, and the speakers have quite hefty magnets on them. They are significantly larger than the original speaker ones as well, and these parts should not get into the speaker. If you pay attention for this, everything should be fine. And just screw the new ones in. With the JBLs, you can't place the screws in the original position, so you have to screw them a little bit aside from where the original holes were. Not really a problem. This material is quite soft. You don't even need to drill pilot holes for this. Also, you may notice here is a hole, and some people stuff it with socks or something else to reduce the bass. I tried it, but for me, with the new speakers, I didn't hear a significant difference. And that's so far for changing the speakers. Quite straightforward and should be doable for pretty much everyone. Regarding the sound, I can already tell you I had other problems with the new speakers as well, because they transfer the vibrations more into the housing of the Spark itself. The electronics sit in such a metal U-shape inside. They're mounted to the top of it, and the U-shaped metal has one backside. And this backside of that U-shape is the only part where it's firmly connected with the housing of the Spark. The complete front part over here, everything just sits on top of it. If you crank the Spark, it starts vibrating enough that you can hear these vibrations. It's not speakers, it's actually really that metal U-shape vibrating against the housing of the Spark, which is a quite annoying sound. So I can't crank this one up much anymore. You can get probably up to about 9 o'clock on the output, which is usually louder than you have in your bedroom or in an apartment. In a house like Lukas is having, and in a basement, this is fine, but at home I'm not going with this much volume. Also, the speakers themselves deliver a little bit less output than the original speakers. So far, that's all. Now to the part which are most of you probably waiting for, the sound samples. I'm using the Rolling Stones preset on my Spark 40 as well as on Lukas his with a direct comparison. It's not totally scientific, they stand a little bit different because I have the battery underneath it, Lukas has it on the back side, but it should be a fairly good representation. And now let's push the volume a little bit and then you will hear the vibrations. It's especially at an E, and yeah, this is not the speaker that you're hearing, it's really the enclosure itself, it's the Spark that's vibrating. So yeah, that was pretty much it. Judge for yourself. To me, I think at lower volumes it makes quite some difference. It's a little more clear to me than with the normal speakers. The highs are just snappier and crisper. That's what I hear in the room. I hope with the YouTube compression and everything it's still possible to hear the difference. Yeah, at higher volumes I can't really use it anymore as a backup as I've used to when going into the practice room with my drummer. That's a downside for it. Most people though will probably use it, yeah, at I would say 9 o'clock, something like this, with the output at 9 o'clock. Let's go again with it for a comparison once more. That's when you have it at the output at 9 o'clock, something like this. This is about 10. So my verdict, if you're just playing for yourself at home with this, I think it's worth changing the speakers. If you're using it also to play louder, then yeah, maybe another speaker that does not transfer so much vibration into the Spark itself might help. Maybe I will find a way to dampen everything so it stops this vibration, this annoying sound. but until now I haven't found a solution for that one. And yeah, the bass problem with Spark being bass heavy is also not gone entirely. In contrary, I have a feeling that it even pushes a little bit more bass as well. That's also why we get this vibration into the cab. But altogether, the sound itself is more pleasing to me. I hope you enjoyed this and see you in another video. Bye!